Hi everyone, welcome back to another installment of Makeup and Musings. This week we're going to be chatting a little bit about consumerism. If you are new here, hi, my name is Morgan. I started my channel in August of 2020, and this Makeup and Musings series on my channel is brand new. This is only the second time I'm doing this, and it's just a chance for me to chat about topics that are on my mind and just get ready with you all. And I also do more of that traditional content of product reviews and tutorials on my channel. So if any of that sounds like something you would enjoy, please consider hitting the red subscribe button down below. So I am going to jump right in, start applying my makeup, and start chatting with you all about consumerism and kind of my thoughts this holiday season. Okay, so I'm starting out with my eyes today, and I'm using a bunch of products I either haven't used or I've used kind of sparingly in my collection as I sort of start thinking about what might go and what might not kind of survive into 2021 in my collection. So I won't be talking about the products very much today, especially because a lot of them I don't have like fully formed opinions about yet. So this really is going to be more of a chat today. This is the Milani Eye Primer. This is my very first time using this, so I really truly have no thoughts. So we'll see. And I picked out the Juvia's Place Masquerade Mini today, and I'm going to be doing kind of a neutral look with these colors down here. Every time I reach for this, I reach for this top row, or top two rows, I should say, and I want to see what kinds of neutral looks I can get with this palette also. So I'm going to be kind of down in this range today. So kind of jumping right into the topic at hand here, I just really wanted to kind of sit down and think through why this year has me so burnt out on purchasing. So I'll preface this by saying that before I had my YouTube channel, I purchased products really sparingly. I was very particular about the brands I bought from. I tended to repurchase a lot of my favorite products when I ran out rather than kind of try out new formulas. And that was largely because I don't like wasting my money. And I always had this fear that like if I bought more stuff and then I didn't like it, that the guilt of trying to return a makeup product that you've already tried is awful. So I really don't like returning makeup. And so then I would feel like, okay, I'm stuck with this product that I was really curious about, really interested in, didn't necessarily break the bank, but like now I have it and I don't know what to do with it. And I feel like because of this YouTube channel, I have let go a little bit of those feelings, because the point now is that I am going to help I'm going to help other people make informed decisions about their own purchasing. And although I think that that has been good, it has also led me to be a little more flippant when I'm kind of picking out what I want, because I have that kind of fallback of like, well, if I don't like it, and if I don't do thorough research before I purchase this item, and I don't like it, it's not a total loss because I am still providing some sort of value by having not liked this product. And I don't really like that approach anymore, I guess. I tried it out for a few months. I kind of did like more of a traditional YouTube channel here for a few months, and doing product reviews and tutorials, which I do still really love, and I see the value in those, and I absolutely want to continue doing that. But I also want to just kind of acknowledge to myself that like I don't have to do that all the time. I can just enjoy the makeup collection that I have and then really selectively purchase products when they truly interest me, like I used to do. Ah, shoot, I didn't put concealer on yet. Yeah, that's okay. We'll work around it. That has really opened my eyes to kind of like a new approach to what I'm hoping to do with my channel in the future, which I'll have videos coming specifically about that. So I'm not going to talk about it too much here because I haven't totally nailed down like my official thoughts. But basically, all of this to say, I have some slightly different thoughts on consumerism than I guess I used to have. And part of that has been that I am very closely watching new makeup releases like a hawk. And like I used to pay attention, but primarily just to brands I had already used and felt some sort of allegiance to. I didn't necessarily pay attention to like the makeup industry as a whole, but now I'm absolutely doing that. And I think that that has really opened my eyes to kind of the parallels between like the fast fashion world and now kind of what I'm seeing in like the fast makeup world. So if you've never really heard about the term fast fashion, I'll just do like a really quick and dirty overview of like my understanding. So fast fashion kind of refers to like the companies that intentionally release a lot of new products in short time spans, that are really on trend, really like up and coming trends, and the releases are huge, like lots and lots of clothes all at once, and also like back to back to back, kind of claiming that like if you don't pick up those new pieces, you're going to be out of style, right? So it's kind of the antitheses of like buying a timeless white blouse and wearing that till it wears out, right? It's the opposite of that. It's the idea of like, don't buy those staple pieces. Instead, come buy new things from us over and over and over every time we release something, usually like multiple times a season, every single year. And it might just be like very slight variations on a theme. So like a lot of times I feel like when I see new clothing releases, I'm like, that's just exactly what you did last year. Like it's not really that different. It'll be like a slightly different shade of green. And if you don't have quite the right shade of army green, like you're just nothing, you know? And so it really pulls you in with that like social fear of missing out, right? So like FOMO, but also the social fear of being like rejected on the basis of appearance or on the basis of perceived financial wealth. I'm just not loving how that's applying with that brush, so I'm just gonna pat over the top with my finger with a little bit more. So that's basically the crux of fast fashion. And bottom line is it creates a lot of waste because it encourages people to buy something new every year and then it's basically duplicated in their closet, and so they get rid of things really, really quickly. It's usually really poor quality garments, and it's also usually made in a really unethical way. So, you know, in factories that exploit child labor or using like dyes and products and chemicals that are really dangerous to human health. I don't follow like the fashion industry super closely, but I think there's a pretty solid like movement of pushback against that right now. But I think it's also really rooted in like particularly American culture. It's sort of like kind of what we're all about is like the next best thing, like keeping up with the Joneses. And so I do think it's in some ways just kind of embedded in our culture and pretty likely to stick around. I mean, like, for example, I guess I don't know details about the financial health of Forever 21, but I'd be willing to guess they're not hurting for cash too much, although in COVID times, maybe. And it's not that I'm like wishing and hoping that companies go under. I'm just saying it's something to consider when you're making your purchases for your clothing. I'm not super well informed on that. I'm not going to pretend that I'm super well informed on that, but it's something to think about. This is the eye look as of now. I think I'm just going to leave it. I might come back to that at the end. You know what? I'm going to tap a little bit of this like bronzy tone just right on the outer corner. Deepen things up slightly. Yeah, that's nice. I'm going to pop off and do my mascara and brows, and then I'll loop back to kind of why I went on this big rant about the fashion industry when that's not at all what my channel is about here on YouTube. So I'll be right back. Okay, I am back and we're gonna move on to some face makeup. I'm gonna try to dance around this eyeshadow situation here because I forgot I didn't have concealer on already, and you all get to witness that, so enjoy. I'm going in with primer first, so looks clear. So where were we? I just got done going on a huge rant, right? I also just wanna be super clear. Oh, everything I'm using today, by the way, is listed down in the description box below. So I'm not really talking through it out loud, but it's all there if you're curious what I'm using. My intention here is not to like shame people or, well, my intention is sort of to shame brands like a little bit, but certainly not people. I 100% can empathize with the feeling of wanting to fit in, wanting to have the latest trends, wanting to feel like you are a part of something. And that's really what it's playing into. And like, honestly, it works a lot of the time because those are real human fears. So I am not trying to say like, you should have known better or you should do better. And then alongside kind of those emotional feelings are also the fact that fast fashion is just more affordable. Not everybody has the money or the liberty to spend, like $150 on a merino wool sweater that's a staple item in your closet, and you have to order it online. So hope the sizing works, hope you can pay for shipping, et cetera, et cetera. Especially not when there are easily accessible stores. Like, for example, I have an Old Navy like 10 minutes from me, and I know I can go there. Actually, this sweater is literally from Old Navy, and I think I got it for under $10 on a winter clearance last year. So I totally understand. I'm there too. I'm working on it too, and it's really hard. Pause for a moment. These are almost brand new to me. They're the Range Beauty True Intentions Hydrating Foundation. And I have Coconut Milk and Paloma, and I'm kind of right between the shades, so I'm gonna mix them. But I also just wanna preface this by saying I've tried this out a few times already, and I hated how it looked on my skin. It broke up, it pilled, it picked back up on itself, even just with one layer. So bear with me here. If this is a little bit of a rough patch in this video, it's because I have not tried this yet with just my fingers. And so I really want to try that. I really want to make this product work for me. So my parallels that I'm kind of drawing here are that, oh boy. Oh yeah, this one oxidizes pretty bad. So it doesn't look like I'm between shades. It looks like I just put very much the wrong shade on my face, but just trust me, it'll even out. But do you see how patchy and smeary? And I've tried it already with a sponge, a dry sponge and a wet sponge and a brush. My favorite foundation brush that has like never steered me wrong. So we're gonna see about this foundation. But anyways, the deal is I've been seeing this same sort of a concept or trend in makeup, and I think there are some brands that are like obvious culprits of this. For example, I think a lot of people could identify ColourPop as a brand that has a tendency to release a ton of makeup in a short time period. And I know COVID was part of that. They did have to close down their production facilities in California for a good long while. So that means some of their releases got pushed to like fall and winter that would have maybe happened in the summer. Things might have been a little more spread out if that didn't happen. But I might have mixed in a little too much of the light shade this time, huh guys? Whew, oh boy. All right, this foundation is just gonna give me nightmares, I think. But I will say this is the best it has blended out so far. I mean, oh, man, it's not fair because I did this to myself. I mixed in too much of Paloma. But I used coconut milk the other day and it looked great when it went on, and then it oxidized like 4 shades. So I just didn't want that to happen again and look like very orange. So yes, I do think ColourPop does this frequently, honestly, regardless of COVID. They have a lot of releases every year, and it's certainly a feeling of like, ColourPop sells out often, like they really do. And so it's not crazy to think that, like there's real merit in that FOMO. Like I bought the Going Coconuts palette this year, but I waited like 4 times of restocks before I was quick enough when they restocked to get on the website and actually purchase it. All that to say, I do actually think there's some merit to kind of that fear of missing out with some makeup brands. But I also think that ColourPop and some other brands are so duplicative of their own work that it gets to a point where I'm like, why would I buy this? I already have essentially that entire color story that you're putting out now in a palette from you. So like not just a palette and then I'm like, oh, I wonder if ColourPop's formula is better or whatever. It's like literally their product. their exact product in nearly the exact same color story. But all that to say that I don't really blame people for buying ColourPop. I mean, they're so affordable for truly good quality. And I wouldn't even say like good quality for the price. I would say just like for good quality. So I can kind of see why people buy from them. I buy from them. I have multiple ColourPop products that I absolutely love. Love them. Truly, like at this point, can't imagine having my collection without those products in it. Another brand that I think does this, that I actually don't own anything from, is Huda Beauty. And I know some people are gonna come for me. I know, for saying this, but I really, truly believe it. I mean, like, they release so many palettes that are just like the same or so similar that I'm like, did you really have to do that same color story twice? That it really kind of blows my mind. And people just continue to buy them. So like, who's at fault? I don't know, maybe no one. And like, I'm sure, listen, there are more brands that do this. I am not trying to like just call out Huda Beauty and e.l.f. and be like, or sorry, actually e.l.f. is one too. But and ColourPop and say like, tisk, you guys should be doing better than this. I feel like the holiday releases and holiday season this year in the makeup industry were like on steroids with this. I felt so overwhelmed, so confused and frustrated and flustered with all the holiday releases this year. I was so burnt out by like the 1st of November with holiday releases that I just didn't want to purchase any of them. And I didn't purchase anything that was specifically a holiday release this year, with the exception of a bundle of Cream Tint Pros from Salt New York. I bought those in a holiday bundle, but it's just 2 shades of their cheek colors that they sell anyway, and you just get them at a discounted price. I could not do it, and I felt so stressed and just overwhelmed. And as someone who's trying to review makeup and do a good job with that and give honest opinions and thorough reviews, the thought of buying all of that holiday makeup and then trying to review it in time for people, consumers, to purchase those products in time for the holidays felt ridiculous. So I just decided to not participate. We're already on lips. This has really like flown by. So, I just got a nude lipstick. I was gonna do a gloss, but I'm actually gonna grab that lipstick instead. So it's really hard for me to talk and do this. Putting on lip liner on camera is already like my worst nightmare, so bear with me here. But I'm gonna try to wrap this up a little bit. Basically, this was a giant ramble just to say I don't know how I feel about the more like fast fashion makeup brands. On the one hand, I really love a lot of those brands, and I don't blame a brand for wanting to sell more product. I mean, that's what they're in the market to do, bottom line. And so, like, it's not, I don't know how to feel about that. I also know that giving gifts and purchasing products for others, for a lot of people, is one of the most rewarding things they do in life. So for those of you who are like, well, I did buy all those holiday releases, that's fine. I think that's fine. And I think that gifting is such an important love language for the world, especially right now when a lot of other types of interactions with people are kind of cut short by COVID. Yeah, that's gonna look nice. So here we are at the end of my getting ready makeup routine. This was actually a really fun look to put together. Check out the description box down below for all the product details, etc. And I hope when I go back and edit this, I find at least some sort of logical train of thought that I can piece together into an entertaining and useful video for you all. I have some pretty big changes for my channel coming up in 2021. So if you enjoyed this today, this series will continue. If you would like to keep up with all of the changes coming to my channel in the new year, go ahead and subscribe down below. I would love to have you join my channel. It would mean so much. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.